Test, test. Welcome to the Daily Rewind. My name's Tom Hannon, and today's classic broadcast features the San Francisco Giants and the New York Mets on May 5th, 1963. The Giants come in with Jack Sanford on the mound sporting a 4-1 record. The Giants are 15-9 at the time, and the amazing New York Mets are 8-14 with Galen Cisco on the hill. The game was first of two, and the Giants featured a Hall of Fame middle of the order with Willie Mays, Orlando Cepeda, and Willie McCovey. And the Mets feature future Hall of Famer Duke Snider in the four-hole. And before we jump to the game, here's a quick word from our sponsor. My name's Tom Hannon, and I'm a franchise consultant. That's my day job. We help people who are in career transitions. They're frustrated with corporate jobs, or they become corporate refugees, or they have a bad COVID job, or they're in desperate need of a change. We find in most cases these people chose a path they never really wanted. And if you're one of them, and you want to explore new options, and you are interested in franchising or business ownership, but just don't know where to start, or couldn't find the right thing when you've dipped your toe in the water, we help you discover a path that you can prosper in with our personal service. If this sounds like something that you'd like to try, just reach out to me. You can click on the link in the show notes. You can go to Franchising Connection, no S, franchisingconnection.com, and you can start a conversation right there. Just go to franchisingconnection.com, and I'll look forward to hearing from you. And now, on to the game.
Cisco, his record this year, 1 victory and 1 loss. He has no record against the Giants. Last year with the Red Sox, he won 4 and lost 7, and with the Mets, he was 1 and 1. Cisco is 26 years of age, 5'11" and 4 pounds from St. Mary's, Ohio. Harvey Keene is playing third base in place of Jim Davenport. In the first game of today's doubleheader, manager Alvin Dark has used them sort of interchangeably. Of course, Davenport had a great day yesterday against the Mets, and generally speaking, he has had great luck against the New York Mets. Choo-Choo Coleman comes over, and somebody throws the rosin bag right over his head, and he goes back to retrieve it, and now flips it out there to the mound. Harvey Keene has a season's batting average of .219. He has no home runs and no runs batted in. He is a former batting champion of the American League. He is from West Allis, Wisconsin, which is a suburb of Milwaukee. And Cisco is in the windup in the first pitch of the ballgame. Is in there for a call strike. Mel Steiner, the umpire behind the plate. Wes Westrom is the coach at first for the Giants, and Whitey Lockman is around at third. As a breaking ball just missed outside, it's 1 and 1. Manager Alvin Dark in the Giant dugout, just over in the corner, staring out intently onto the field. That pitch is a little inside. Coach Larry Jansen down there in the dugout, also hands in hip pockets, looking out onto the field. 2-1 is the count. Here's a pitch high for ball. It's 3-1. Cisco takes a moment, walks around out there. He gets settled down a little on the mound as he is behind to leadoff man Harvey Keene. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. He walks it. Cisco has walked the first man up. Keene is on at first. And Philippe Alou is coming up. He is off to a great start this year. He's hitting .374. He has 7 doubles, 2 triples, 4 home runs, and 16 runs batted in. Philippe Alou is leading the National League. At bat, last year he batted .316. Yesterday, his first time up, he hit a 2-run homer. Galen Cisco looks in to get a sign from Choo-Choo Coleman. Harvey Keene leads at first base. checks and deals the breaking ball in there for a called strike. Homerun at shortstop, a stride over toward the hole on right-hand batter Philippe Alou. Is low for a ball. It's 1-1. Sure you noticed that the Philadelphia Phillies picked up Jim Lemon from Minnesota Twins, and the Milwaukee Braves finally got an outfielder. They've been looking for one. They got Bubba Morton from the Detroit Tigers. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Philippe Alou. Breaking ball, a little tight. It's 2-1. As you missed scores yesterday or last night in the National League, the Giants beat the Mets 17-4. Chicago Cubs beat the Milwaukee Braves 7-5. Philadelphia Phillies shut out the Houston Colt 45 7-0. Pittsburgh Pirates shut out the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-0. And the Cincinnati Reds shut out the St. Louis Cardinals 6-0. That was yesterday in the National League. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Alou. Breaking ball, hits the plate, bounds up. It's blocked by Choo-Choo. There's no advance, but Cisco is behind now to Alou, 3-1. He went 3-1 to Harvey Keene and walked him. In the American League yesterday, the Yankees defeated the Minnesota Twins 3-2. Baltimore defeated Detroit 8-4. Chicago White Sox beat Washington 8-1. Kansas City beat the Boston Red Sox 14-3. That one lasted only 5 innings, and that was called because of rain, but it does go into the record book. The victory for the Kansas City Athletics 14-3. Cleveland beat the Los Angeles Angels 6-0 last night. Shut them out. Now here is a 3-1 pitch to Alou. And it's inside. He walks it. And moves Harvey Keene to second. Puts Alou on at first. Cisco has opened up. You're walking the first 2 men to face him. Choo-Choo Coleman calls time. Goes out to the mound. Willie McCovey, big left-hand batter, is coming up. McCovey's batting .325 with 4 home runs and 12 runs batted in. And we're going to get action in the bullpen of the New York Mets right away. Tracy Stallard is up and throwing. From second base, Ron Hunt walks over to say a word to Galen Cisco, who has pitched himself into trouble by walking the first 2 men to face him in this, the first game of a doubleheader. There are a lot of people in this ballpark this afternoon. And we're going to have a lot of baseball played here today. And it's a beautiful day for a baseball game. Here's a pitch to McCovey, and it's low for a ball. Right-hander Tracy Stallard throwing in earnest down in the bullpen of the Mets. Big Willie McCovey, batting number 3 in the batting order for the Giants, and playing left field. He's a dangerous man anytime he is up there, especially in this ballpark, with a short distance to the stand. Swings and sends a ground ball that is foul. Out of play, down the first baseline. Tim Harkness moved over and tried to glove it, but it's continued on. Foul ball and runners come back. Count of 1-1 to McCovey. Yesterday was certainly a big day for John Galbraith, the owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates and the owner of Derby Down Farm. His Pittsburgh Pirates shut out the Dodgers yesterday afternoon. The Pirates moved into first place in the National League, and a matter of a few minutes later, Shadow Gay won the Kentucky Derby. So it was a big day for Mr. Galbraith. Here's a 1-1 pitch to McCovey. Swung on and pops up foul. Coming back to Choo-Choo. Rips himself the mat. Hoping for the play. He's underneath and he makes the catch. There is no advance as McCovey fouls out to the catcher. Listen to the roar of that crowd. first and second. Here's a pitch to Mays. Swung on and missed. Oh, fair ball. Pulled the string on him that time. And it is strike one to Willie Mays. Willie was honored here Friday night by approximately 50,000 fans on the occasion of Willie Mays night. Harvey Keene is the base runner at second. Philippe Ballou is the base runner at first. Cisco checks and deals to Mays. Turned him inside. It's 1-1. We're in the top half of the first game, top half of the first inning of the first game of a doubleheader. Gee, the weatherman could not possibly have cooperated more. Temperature 80 degrees at game time. Great weather for this series right along. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Willie. Swung on and drilled deep to left field, way up there, going, and it's gone for a 3-run homer. The Giants have taken a 3-0 lead here in the top half of the first inning. Swing and a miss. 1-2 to Orlando Cepeda. He had 2 home runs yesterday. Among the groups on hand here this afternoon, Knights of Pythias, Astoria Lodge number 761, Men's Club of the Progressive Synagogue of Roslyn, Manhasset American Legion, and 5,000 guests of King Corn Staff. Foul ball to the right side, out of play. 1-2 the count now. To Cepeda. There's a pitch on a comebacker, batted down and picked up now by Cisco. He plays over to Harkness inside. Away. That brings up catcher Tom Haller. Tom Haller's batting .220, 1 home run, 8 runs batted in. He splits the catching duty with Ed Bailey. Bailey is off to a big start this year. Ed's batting .419. Doubtful will be in there in the second game today, but Tom Haller is catching the opening game of this doubleheader. Playing a foul ball, backing out of play. 2 former Big Ten football players opposing each other here. Galen Cisco was a linebacker at Ohio State University, and Tom Haller was the T quarterback at the University of Illinois. That pitch is low and inside. 1-1. Giants 3, the Mets nothing on a 3-run homer by Willie Mays. 1 ball punch. Threw into left field for a base hit for Tom Haller. Frank Thomas up with it. So Haller is on with the ground single to left, and that brings up second baseman Joey Amalfitano. Amalfitano was the 7th man to come up here for the Giants in the top half of the first inning. Amalfitano is hitting 156, 1 double, 1 run batted in. Chuck Hiller is out of action with an injury at the moment. Adam Amalfitano stepped in to take over at second base. That pitch is low for ball. 1-0. Tom Haller leads out to bag at first. And this pitch is high. 2-0 to Amalfitano. Looking around the ballpark, the reserved and box seat sections are absolutely filled. Breaking ball's in there for a called strike, 2-1. The bleacher sections in center field are absolutely filled. Fans are standing about 3 deep on the runway leading from the stands down toward the bleacher area on the right field side of the center field bleachers. And fans are standing in the back upstairs and they're standing in the back of the lower deck. Here's 2-1 pitch. He's running, swing, and here's a throw through to second base, and he is safe. As Hunt is upended, it was a low throw, and Hunt tried to take it on a short hop. Tom Haller upended Hunt, so he is safe at second. Now Amalfitano started to swing around and then checked it for a ball, so it's 3-1. You simply scored as a stolen base. And now the umpire at first, Augie Donatelli, says he did strike at it. He is giving a signal to Mel Steiner behind the plate. Donatelli said he did carry it through. But we called it a swing, and now Alvin Dark is coming out to see what's going on. The manager of the Giants checks the plate umpire Mel Steiner to see what goes on. He started to swing. We called it a swing, and then Steiner had called it a check, and both scoreboards have it 3-1. Donatelli signaled out from first base and said, no, he carried it through. And so now Dark wants to know who's calling balls to strike. He's still shaking his head, and Steiner takes his mask off now, and is standing squarely facing Alvin Dark. Standing there, an intent listener, is Joey Amalfitano. Dark and Steiner still arguing that point. Usually, umpires have a prearranged sign so that in case there is any doubt on the check swing, the plate umpire looks hurriedly down toward the base umpire on the right-hand batter toward first for a sign. But apparently in the haste of the stolen base there, Steiner didn't look, and so Augie Donatelli, the senior umpire, says strike, and it's 2-2 to count. Haller is at second. And here's the pitch. Breaking ball high. But it's 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Amalfitano. 3 runs in for the Giants, 2 men out. Cisco getting a sign from Choo-Choo for the payoff pitch. And he called out on strike. The breaking ball got him. Cisco's first strikeout. At the top of the first, the Giants got 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. And at the end of a half inning, it is the Giants 3 and the Mets coming up nothing. Here's a riddle for filter cigarette smokers. What slides right open, slides shut tight, that's 1,000 for convenience, and scores with the taste that's right 20 times. It's Viceroy's exclusive new slides out case. Greatest improvement in cigarette packaging since the flip open box. crush-proof like a box. It slides right open, slides shut tight. Works so easy and with just one hand. Inside, Viceroy. The filter cigarette that tastes the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. Not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. And if you smoke all 7 leading filter brands, you'll find some taste too strong, just like the unfiltered kind. And others taste too light. They take all the fun and flavor out of smoking. But Viceroy's not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. So next time you buy cigarettes, make it Viceroy in the exclusive slide drop case or familiar soft pack. Jack Sanford on the mound for the Giants has been staked to a 3-run lead here by virtue of Willie Mays' 3-run homer. Sanford, of course, won 24 big games for the Giants last year, and he lost only 7. Sanford's lifetime record in the National League, 98 victories and 64 losses. In his first year in the league, 1957, he won 19 games for the Philadelphia Phillies. Here is Charlie Neal up to lead off for the Mets. Charlie is batting .215. He has 5 doubles and 5 runs batted in. Well, the Met fans try to get a little rhythmic applause started here. It's in there for a call strike. Fastball blazed right in by Sanford. 5 of his 24 victories last year were over the Mets. He was invincible as far as they were concerned. Duke Snider is on deck, and you can bet your bottom dollar when the Duke comes up, he will get a tremendous ovation from the crowd out here. Noise from the crowd comes in waves from all parts of this ballpark. That pitch is low for ball. You hear a roar sort of washing in from one corner of the ballpark up against a roar from another part. Fellow who says he comes out these days to watch the fans. He gets the biggest kick watching the fans in the stands here at the Polo Grounds. He leads at first. Here's a swing and a foul ball. Off to the right now to play. As Ron Hunt was trying to take the ball to right field. But fouled it off, and it's 2-2. It was breaking pitch, and he was trying to punch it to right. Very adept at doing that. That's why he's up there batting number 2. Neal was not running. He was simply trying to hit and run, not run and hit. Sanford getting settled as Ron Hunt comes back in now. average is 239, 2 doubles, 5 home runs, and 12 runs batted in. You get the big crowd in the ballpark. Sometimes that's when the veterans really perform. The pitch is low for a ball. Calls time, and he's going out to check with Jack Sanford. We won't have the official attendance figures, of course, for quite a while, but I can tell you this is a big, big crowd at the Polo Grounds this afternoon. The official paid was right at 50,000 Friday night. This looks to me to be more people than were here on Friday night. That pitch is fired low. 2-0 to Snider. Neal leads at first. Cepeda's not holding him on. Here's a pitch low. It's 3 balls to no strike. Ed Craneville is on deck for the Mets. It's the Giants 3, the Mets nothing. Snider looks down to Cookie Lavagetta, the sign man at third. For the count of 3-0. Here's the pitch, and he was taking it in there. 3-1. Gets another sign. You can bet they'll turn him loose if he finds one he likes on 3-1. Sanford checks now. Neal is running. Here's a swing and a ground ball to second. You have to go to first in time, but the hit and run prevented the double play. As Duke Snider grounded out second to first from Alfantano to Cepeda, Neal moved on to second. Had they not been running Neal on the 3-1 pitch, that would have been a double play ball. And here is Craneville up. Playing right field, and he is batting .264 with 2 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run, and 2 runs batted in. Sanford, of course, taking a little time to get it signed. He has not previously faced Ed Craneville, and vice versa. Pitch is low for ball. Casey Single was the youngster in the cleanup slot. Here again this afternoon. Had him batting cleanup on Friday night. Batted him second yesterday. Neal leads at second. The pitch is outside. 2-0. Frank Thomas is on deck now for the Mets. The Giants lead by a score of 3-0 on Willie Mays' 3-run homer in the top half of the first inning. Willie out there in center field right now, looking around the big, big crowd, pounding the gloves. 2-0 pitch to Craneville is in there for a call strike. It's 2-1. Hemus coaching at first for the Mets. Cookie Lavagetta at third. Now the 2-1 pitch is low for ball. 3-1. Well, there are a few bugles around the ballpark this afternoon, as perhaps you have heard in the background. One of them answered each time with a roar of charge. And here's a 3-1 pitch to Craneville. He walked him. Right now, as Frank Thomas comes up representing potential tying run at the plate, in order to allow our stations to identify themselves, we pause for station identification.
810 on your radio dial, WGY in Schenectady.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Kiner and Bob Murphy at the Polo Grounds. Frank Thomas, the right-hand batter, is coming up. Frank has a batting average of 194, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 2 home runs, and 8 runs batted in. Frank off to a slow start at the plate this year. Last year he hit 34 home runs and 94 runs batted in for the Mets. He's up here in a position to do him a lot of good right now with 2 men on and 2 men out. The Giants leading by a score of 3-0. Here starts the building of the cry. Let's go Mets. indicating to Snider that he should ask Donatelli whether or not it was a strike. Salahima's now looking down to Donatelli and saying, is it a strike or not? You'll recall that Donatelli called one earlier. Donatelli declines in this instance. Price steps back into the batter's box. Runners leading at first and second. Here's a pitch. Swung on and foul back. Out of play. Onto the screen. But Sanford quickly has a 2-strike count on Frank Thomas. This doubleheader today concludes the current series between the Mets and the Giants. The Mets are off tomorrow, and then the Philadelphia Phils come in on Tuesday night. Here's a 2-strike pitch. He checked that one. Did not go. Started to go and held it up. It's 1-2. One of the most difficult calls for an umpire to make is to check swing. On the swing to that as he waits for the 1-2 pitch. Swung on has a ground ball right back to Sanford. Traces up and lobs on over to Cepeda in time. And the side is retired. In the bottom of the first inning, the Mets got no runs on 1 hit. No errors and 2 left. And at the end of 1 inning, the score is the Giants 3, the Mets nothing. That's true. The Philadelphia Phillies will be in here on Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and Thursday afternoon. They, of course, are managed by Gene Mock, who was the manager of the year last year in the National League. Phillies yesterday shut out the Houston Colt 45, 7-0. And they'll be bringing along Art Mahaffey, one of the National League's finest hurlers. Jack Balshan, one of the finest relief men in the league. Don Demeter, former Dodger, who's off to a great start at the plate. John Hope, who was spark plug of the Pittsburgh Pirates in their pennant-winning year of 1960, now playing third base for the Phils. Roy Sievers, one of the great power hitters. Johnny Callison, one of the fine young ball players. They'll all be here with the Phillies Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and Thursday afternoon. Tickets are now on sale. That's the advanced ticket window here at the Polo Grounds, which is open 7 days a week. The top half of the second inning, Jose Pagan is up for the Giants. He bats number 8 in the batting order. The shortstop. Here's a swing and a drive going into center field, and it is in there for a base hit as Snider one-hopped it. Jose Pagan with a single to center. Jack Sanford coming up, and with the Giants holding a 3-run lead, the Mets will have to protect against the likelihood of a sacrifice here. Sanford is not a bad hitting pitcher. He's been up 18 times, and he has 4 hits. 1 double, 1 triple, 4 runs batted in. Now the pitch, and it's bunted into the air, and Harkness feels it but has no other play. Hunt was moving on over towards first to cover, but Pagan beat him back, so the ball is bunted in the air to the first baseman as Sanford was trying to push it down the first base line. 1 away. Pagan still at first, and Harvey Keene's coming up. Harvey has been up 1 time and he walked. Galen Cisco got himself into trouble in the top half of the first when he walked Keene, he walked Lou, got McCovey on a foul pop, and then Mays deposited the ball in the upper deck in left field for a 3-run homer. Keene is an alumnus of the University of Wisconsin. Came to the major leagues as a shortstop with the Detroit Tigers. Breaking ball swung on, and it is 1 hop to Hunt. He goes over to Moran, and he's safe at second and safe at first. All hands are safe. Ron Hunt could have caught the ball in the air, but he elected to let it hit, hoping to go for 2. He wheeled and threw the ball to Moran coming across, and the throw was a little wide. And it is an error charged against Hunt. Of course, Keene is out on the field as choice. Pagan is safe on the error charged against Ron Hunt as the Mets were trying to go for 2, and instead they got none. Their runners at first and second, 1 man out, and a very dangerous Philippe Alou at the plate. Been up 1 time and walked. Here's a breaking ball swung on. Ground ball to third, taken by Neal. He goes to Hunt. He's out to nothing, and now a word from Viceroy Cigarettes.
We're the Brothers Four with the Ballad of Lady Greensleeves. There once was a knight Lady Greensleeves would wed, but he seemed to prefer to be single instead. But then the night heard Lady Greensleeves had said that her dowry was cartons of Viceroy. 7 leading filter brands he had tried from 7 young maidens, but 6 he denied. Only one maiden would e'er be his bride, and she'd be the one who spoke Viceroy. So they were wed and were happy for life, and all for a dowry of Viceroy. 'Cause Viceroy tastes the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. Not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got a taste that's right. Viceroy.
In the bottom of the second, the Mets will be leading off with first baseman Tim Hartnett. There's a conference at the mound right now between pitcher Jack Sanford, catcher Tom Haller, and first baseman Orlando Cepeda. The Giants have a 3-0 lead. In the bottom of the first, the Mets got 1 hit, and Sanford gave up base on balls as well, so the Mets did have a situation of tying runs to plate in the bottom of the first as they battle back here at the Polo Grounds. Sanford with the windup and the pitch to the left-hand batter low for ball 1. Choo Coleman kneeling on deck for the Mets. That pitch is in there to Hartnett. Foul strike. He is batting 156. He has 1 double and 2 runs batted in. Sanford is... And Wheel does not... Represent potential tying runs on base here in the bottom of the second, with the Giants leading by a score of 3-1. This afternoon, much more alive than was the big crowd here on Friday night. Sanford gets 2 quick strikes on Ron Hunt. Field here. Sanford is set. Taking his time. Wheel does not throw. There's nobody covering. Moran goes back to the bag at second, and the crowd, of course, starts to cry a ball, which it isn't. You are not required to throw to second. Runners lead at first and second. Here's the pitch. It's outside. Behind the fastball. 1-2. Tim Hartnett led off this inning with a home run that disappeared over the right field roof with the wind actually blowing straight across. He hit that one into the wind and right on out of the ballpark. Runners lead first and second. Swing and a pass to right, but this is a foul ball into the upper deck. 1-2. Moran back to second, Neal back to first. They represent potential tying runs on base here. Back to second for the Giants leading. That's the sign. Pitch to Hunt. Swung on at the ground ball. It's the shortstop. The guy is up with it. He'll have to go to first, and he does just in time. He got him. So Hunt grounded out from Pagan to Cepeda. Bottom of the second, the Mets got 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. And at the end of 2 innings of play, the score is Giants 3 and the Mets 1. Well, if you'd like to bone up on all the information pertinent to the New York Mets of 1963, you can do it better with a copy of the 1963 official New York Met yearbook. There's a picture of Mr. Met on the front cover, and inside over 100 pictures, and there's biographical and statistical information about your favorite Met players. A story about Casey Stengel, a story about the coaching, Shea Stadium, the Stadiorama scoreboard, and that's going to be quite a thing. Highlights of last year, the Farm Club, some in behind the scenes. There's a complete page of players' autographs. To obtain your copy of the 1963 Met Yearbook, spend 50 cents for each copy to Met Yearbook, Polo Grounds, New York, 39 New York. Or if you want to pick up your copy in person, they are available and on sale at the Met Ticket Office at Pennsylvania Station. That's in the Long Island waiting room. Or the Met Ticket Office at Grand Central. That's at the foot of the Vanderbilt Avenue ramp. If you're keeping a baseball calendar, remember, Monday night, June 3rd, 8 p.m. at Yankee Stadium, it'll be the Mets and the Yankees in the Mayor's Trophy game, which is played for the benefit of Sandlot Baseball in New York. Right now, we're going to move along to the 3rd inning of this, the first game of a doubleheader, and coming in here is Ralph Kiner. Thank you, Lindsay, and hi, everybody. everybody. It's another baseball game from the Polo Grounds. A good one and a tremendous crowd in hand. Could be the biggest crowd in the history of the Polo Grounds, at least in the history of the Mets. Score 3-1 in favor of the Giants as they come to bat. And the first pitch by Galen Cisco to McCovey is way down the right field line, but it's going to go foul. McCovey jumping on a curveball and sending the curve over the top of the roof out over into the parking lot in right field. A long strike for Galen Cisco. Hits are all even at 3 apiece. Now the pitch back to the left-hand batter. A swing and a miss, strike 2. Fouled out in the curveball his first time up. He's batting .321. Now Cisco into the windup and back with a fastball. Goes right over the top of the glove of Choo-Choo Coleman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On-deck batter, Willie Mays. He's responsible for the 3 Giant runs. There's a high curve. It's off the glove again of Coleman. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was Willie Mays' home run, his 5th of the year. It gave the Giants 3 runs in the top of the first inning. The Mets scored 1 run in the bottom of the second inning. And that's the way the score stands right now, 3-1. In other games in the National League, Houston leads Philadelphia 5-2 through 5, first of 2. L.A. and Pittsburgh no score at the end of 3. Cincinnati 3, St. Louis 1 at the end of 2. And Chicago nothing, Milwaukee nothing at the end of 1. Now the 2-2 pitch. Strike ball right on the inside corner, a fastball. First out of the inning, the second strikeout for Galen Cisco in this game, and it brings up Willie Mays. Willie Mays, his home run, a good 500-foot blast to left field over the roof. Now the first pitch to Mays, up high, a ball. Galen Cisco going sidearm, missing with a fastball. Willie now has 373 home runs in his major league career. It started back in 1951, the last part of May. Willie went 12 times at bat before getting a base hit when he broke into the major league. Now the pitch back, it's low. 2 balls and no strikes. His first hit, an indication of was what to come. It was a home run off Warren's farm. 2 balls, no strikes. Cisco a right-hander to the right-hand batter, Willie Mays. And he misses with a change of pace, inside and high, ball 3. Mays went down. The pitch was not close. Change of speeds on the pitch. Willie bending over backwards, went back to the ground. So Mays has it 3-0. The on-deck batter, Orlando Cepeda. Batting .253 in the year. Now the 3-0 pitch. Bouncy ball hit down the third base line. It's called a foul ball. Johnny Neal fielded the ball. He could have made the play at first base in time, but the ball was fouled by about a foot. So Mays going for the 3-0 now finds himself at 3 balls and 1 strike. Willie now has 11 runs batted in. Drove in quite a few. There's a drive to left field. Thomas has plenty of room. Also Snider. Snider calls. And he makes the catch. That ball was hit off the end of the bat, and it didn't carry too far. It looks as though to the crowd here that it might go further. Willie Mays with 141 runs batted in last year now is out for out number 2. The batter is Orlando Cepeda. Cepeda has hit safely in 13 of his last 14 games, his last 6 straight. He had 2 home runs against the Mets yesterday. And he looks at a perfect fastball on the outside corner, right at the knees for strike 1. Cepeda batting .344. He has 18 runs batted in and 6 home runs. Now Cisco back to the plate. And he misses inside, just inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Home run leader in the National League is Hank Aaron with 9. He leads the Major Leagues too. And the RBI leader is Hoyer in the National League with 22, and he also leads the Major League. Now the 1-1 pitch. It's hit the right field. It could go in there. Coming over at Cranepool, and it is off the wall. Cranepool plays the ball off the wall. Cepeda goes into second, standing up. Orlando Cepeda, who drilled one into the right field stands in yesterday's game on an outside pitch, reached out again and punched the ball toward right field. It is high on the wall. It'll go as a 2-base hit. And with 2 out, the batter will be Tom Haller. Cepeda now has hit in 7 consecutive games. 14 of his last 15. He's really off to a hot start for the New York Giants move to San Francisco. That base hit off Galen Cisco, number 4 in the game. The Giants lead in that department by 1. They lead in the run score department by 2. It's 3-1 their favor. Tom Haller, who has a single to left field to his credit, standing in the batter's box. He hits from the left-hand side, and Cisco misses with an inside fastball. Letter high for ball 1. Haller batting .233. Cisco back to work, and a curveball is hit foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tom Haller really finished strong for the Giants in their pennant stretch. He drove in 17 runs and hit 7 home runs during the month of September to give the Giants their big impetus at the plate. On the year, he hit .261 with 18 home runs. He was a quarterback for the University of Illinois. Cisco ready. A look at second. Cepeda there, and there's a pitch. Hit on the ground. It's foul. Picked up by Harkness, and it'll make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Haller signed for $50,000 while attending the University of Illinois, which is not too unusual, but something that he did is certainly indicative of his character. He gave the school $2,500 of his bonus to repay part of his tuition. Went there on a football scholarship. Tom's brother, an umpire in the American League. Now Cisco back to the plate, and it's a foul ball back to the screen. You often wonder what would happen if Tom's brother was an umpire in the National League, an umpire behind his own brother at the plate. Well, the way baseball is, I'm sure that there would be no favoritism at all. Not in any way. It's 1-2 on Tom Haller. 3-1 game. The Giants lead top of the 3rd inning. Cisco now back to the plate. There's a high pop-up in foul territory. The ball's going to go out of play. That'll hold it down at 1-2, and while we wait for a new ball to be put back in play, we'll use the opportunity to pause for station identification.
WGY Schenectady, where you can hear all the games of the New York Mets.
Here along with Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy from the Polo Grounds. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. The Giants batting with a runner at second base and 2 men out. Score 3-1, their favor. On the mound, Galen Cisco. Second base, breaking off the bag and then stopping. Now Cisco sets and looks at second, then comes to the plate. And he misses with a high inside fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Home plate umpire Merrill Snyder. At first base, Augie Donatelli. Shag Crawford, the umpire at second base.
And Tony Vinton, the umpire, third. Here comes Ron Hunt in back of the second base runner, but now going back to his position. No play there. There's the pitch. It's high curve. So Holler now has worked his count to 3-2. The on-deck batter, Joe Malfitano. Galen Cisco with an open base at first base will pitch carefully to the left-hand batter. Holler has good power, although this year he has only one home run. His counterpart in the catching department having a great season. There's the curve. It's outside, ball 4. That puts runners at first and second. Ed Bailey, the other main catcher for the Giants, had 4 for 4 yesterday, including 2 home runs. And he's batting .419. So the Giants are well stocked in the catching department. They might go with only 2 during the year. They have one other catcher in their roster at this point, Jim Coker. He's a right-hand batter. Giants thinking so highly of their catching that they traded off John Orsino to the Baltimore Orioles, and he's quite a prospect. Here come the lights on now here at the Polo Grounds. Runners at first and second, 2 out. The batter, Jim Davenport. Jim was called out on a 3-2 curveball his first time up. Should say Joe Malfitano was called out. Now the first pitch to Joe, bounce to third. Here comes Deal. It's a tough play. He picks it up, goes to first base just in time. And that retires the side in the inning for the Giants. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors. A walk, 2 men were left in the score at the end of 2.5 innings of play. The Giants 3, the Mets 1. Well, speaking of umpires, as we were, you know, the umpires have to go over the rule books all the time, and of course, sort of interesting to do the same thing yourself. While going through the rule books the other day, we dug up a Rheingold riddle for all you baseball fans. Now, you may know that when a base runner is hit by a batted ball, the batter automatically gets credit for a hit, and the runner is automatically out. But who gets credit for the put out? Think about that one. Well, if you know your baseball, and I'm sure you do, you know that the fielder nearest the runner gets credit for the put out. And if you know your beer, and I know you do, you'll surely know this. 2 little words, extra dry, tell you why Rheingold has a taste no other beer can match. They tell you that Rheingold is brewed the long, slow, costly way. Brewed for a taste that's brisk and bright and clean clear through. But why not find that out for yourself? Take the easy way. Enjoy a cool, refreshing glass of Rheingold Extra Dry right today. Well, we're moving to the bottom half of the third. The Mets coming up. They need 2 to tie, and they will lead off with Duke Snider. After Duke Snider, Ed Graypool and Frank Thomas, so it'll be the big man in the lineup as Jack Sanford starts to work. And his first pitch is a strike call to Duke. Duke rattled out to second base on the hit and run play his first time up. Now the 1 strike pitch, a base hit on the ground, through into center field. Duke continues to hit well against the Giants. He's on at first base, and the tie run comes to the plate. Hits are all even at 4 apiece now, but the Giants have scored 2 more runs. They lead 3-1. 3 runs coming on Willie Mays' home run. That's picked up their 1 run in the bottom half of the second inning on Tim Hutchison's home run. In the batter's box. He backs to the left-hand side, and the first pitch to Ed. Bounce back to the second baseman, a chance for 2. Over to short in time. The first base in time, a double play. So Duke Snider with a base hit is now erased off first base. Graypool out 2 for 2 men out. The Giants just turned in their first double play, and the batter will be Frank Thomas. Ed had walked his first time up, so he is now 0 for 1. Frank Thomas coming up is 0 for 1. Rainbow was that time at bat, now batting .259. Thomas has a .190 average going. And he looks at a slider for a strike call. Frank was hit right on the fifth by a fastball with runners on first and second and 2 men out in the first inning, and he bounced the ball back to the mound. There he checks in time on a curve. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jack Sanford with a 4-1 record now, on top and back to work. And there's a half swing. Strike 2. Frank started to go, tried to hold up and couldn't do it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The score 3-1, Giants lead. Sanford back to Thomas, and he picks up a strikeout on a fastball in the outside corner, looked at by Frank Thomas. That is the third strikeout in the game for Sanford. And in the inning, for the Mets, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, no one left on base. And the score at the end of 3, the Giants 3, the Mets 1. Well, after the Giants series, the Philadelphia Phillies come in for 3 games, and then the Cincinnati Reds come in, and they're moving along now after a very slow start. They got a fine pitching performance from Jim Maloney. In last night's game, he worked a 4-hitter. They'll be in for a game on Friday night, and then they'll have a Saturday afternoon game. Ladies' Day there, ladies admitted for 50 cents, and Sunday, a big doubleheader with the Reds, who are picked by many experts as the team to watch and the team to beat in the National League race, in spite of the fact they're off to a slow start. Right now in today's game, they lead the St. Louis Cardinals 3-2. Scoring for the Reds is Jim O'Toole. He's pitching against Ray Sadecki. That game after 2.5 innings. So you'll get your first look at Frank Robinson, Veda Pinson, Johnny Edwards, Gordy Coleman, Gene Freese, Jerry Lynch, and a whole bunch of real outstanding players, including Joey Jay, Bob Perkey, and Jim Maloney. Tickets for these games available at 3 convenient locations: downtown at Pennsylvania Station, also downtown at Grand Central Station, and right here at the Polo Grounds at the advanced reservation window. Ticket reservations may be made at any of the Howard Cole stores in the New York area, too. The Cincinnati Reds coming in this coming Friday night. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and a doubleheader on Sunday, led by their very colorful manager, Freddie Hutchison. Right now, though, we're moving to the top of the 4th inning. Galen Cisco on the mound, and his first pitch to Jose Pagan is fouled down in the dirt. Pagan with a single to center field in 1 try against Galen Cisco. Galen now through 3 innings has given up 3 runs. He's allowed 4 hits while striking out 2 and walking 3. He walked the first 2 men that he faced in the ball game, and then Willie Mays, after 1 out, hit a 3-run home run to account for the Giants' run. There's a pitch that knocked Pagan down. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pagan going down hard. That ball was right in there. Cisco is very sneaky fast, and he has a live fastball. He also throws a good overhand curve. Pagan batting .211. And the pitch back is just inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cisco's last out was a week ago today. That was against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He worked 7 innings, gave up 2 runs, was not involved in the decision. He has a record of 1 win and 1 loss. Now the 2-1 pitch. Foul tip. And that evens the count out at 2-2. The ball off of Choo-Choo Coleman. He's taking his leg. 2 balls and 2 strikes. First game of a doubleheader. In the second game, scheduled to pitch Billy Pierce against Carl Willie. Plenty of baseball coming your way. Pitch back to Pagan, hit foul. So the count will hold at 2-2. now good hitter's time. The glare is out of the sky. The lights are on, but it's not dark. And the glare is also out of the center field bleacher area where you see a lot of white shirts. Here's a 2-2 pitch, a curve that bounced off of the plate. Again, foul. So Pagan stays alive on the foul ball. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. The on-deck batter, Jack Sanford. Jack is not in the on-deck circle. It's the option of the ball club whether or not the pitcher should be in the on-deck circle. Cisco now back to the plate. And he gets a foul ball again from the bat of Jose Pagan. Pagan played in every game but one for the Giants last year. He just missed setting a record set by Maury Wills of the Dodgers, who played in all the Dodger games. 165. Pagan played in 164. So 2 little fellows going all the way. Now again the 2-2 pitch. This one is inside. Pagan moves away. It's ball 3, a full count. Interesting thing about playing in games, Willie Mays has missed only 19 games for the Giants in his career starting back in 1951. And the Giants have lost all 19 of those games. Now the 3-2 pitch. Again a foul ball. So the count holds at 3-2. Willie Mays very instrumental in this game. His 3-run home run giving the Giants a 3-0 lead. The Mets scored 1 run in the bottom of the second to tighten it up on a home run by Tim Harkness. And that's the way it stands here in the top of the 4th inning with no one out. Cisco with a 3-2 pitch. There's one in the center field, a base hit. Duke Snider fields the ball. Pagan with a wide turn now holds. So Pagan, after fouling off several pitches, pushes one out in the center field, reaching out and hitting a soft liner to center field for his second hit of the game. Giants now have 5 hits to the Mets 4. They lead 3-1, and the batter coming up is Jack Sanford. Sanford batting for the right-hand side. He tried to bunt his first time up and bunted a pop fly to the first baseman. There's the throw to first. They got back ahead of the tag. Now Neal looking for the sacrifice bunt. 0-1 out. Neal at third base. Here comes Harkness charging. Sanford squares around and has to go down. The pitch is way inside a fastball. Sanford went right on his back. He was late getting out because he had already moved around to bunt the ball, and he had to turn all the way around to his right side to get out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes. Cisco now set. A look at Pagan at first. And back to the plate. Pagan goes. Here's a throw to second base. It's in the dirt. The tag is made. And a safe ball is made. Now Moran is arguing on the play. Jose Pagan never did fly in the play. Moran picked the ball up off the ground and made a backhand tag. The umpire at second base, Jack Crawford, right there in the play. And he said, no, he got to the bag. Goes the stolen base. That is the second stolen base in the game for the Giants. Leading in the first inning was Tom Haller. Giants now getting the runner to second base. The count is 2-0. Which was a ball call. Now Sanford will bat. See what he does. Still looking for a bunt. There's a bunt try. It goes foul. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jack Sanford, the batter. The on-deck man, Harvey Keene. Neal looking for the bunt. There's a bunt try again. Again, it's foul. It's 2-2 now. Sanford trying to move the base runner to third base, where there would be a chance for the runner to score there without a base hit. There's a check in the swing by Sanford, and the count goes 3 balls and 2 strikes. Giants lead 3-1, top of the 4th. Galen set. He has a 3-2 count on Sanford, and there is a curveball looked at for strike 3. Sanford had squared around to bunt the ball. He was fooled on the curve and took it. So Cisco picks up an out. That is his 3rd strikeout in the game, and with 1 out, the batter will be Harvey Keene. Harvey Keene, who has walked and who was safe on an error, batting now for the 3rd time. He has reached twice and scored 1 run. Harvey batting from the right-hand side, playing at third base. They gone at second, and here's the pitch. The curve roll for ball 1. Jim Davenport played in yesterday's game. He had a big day, 3 for 4 with 1 home run and 3 runs batted in. Davenport, the regular third baseman. Harvey has been used more in the outfield. Played infield for many years. Davenport, a big hitter against the Mets last year. He batted .460. He's got an injured hand. Now Cisco on top and back to the plate with the curve. It's again low. 2 balls and no strikes. Being the leadoff batter, he'll be followed by Philippe Alou. Cisco working mighty slow on the mound. He looks at the second base runner. Then comes back with a fastball on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cisco now on top. And here's his pitch. Fastball fouled away. So the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2. Overcast sky here right now. The lights are on, but still bright enough for good hitting visibility. We've had a few sprinkles right now, maybe a couple falling. Cisco 2 and 2 with the curve. It's outside. So again, Galen Cisco going to the full count as he works against the Giants. He had Jose Pagan 3 and 2. He had Jack Sanford 3 and 2. Pagan singled. Sanford struck out. Now he's working to Harvey Keene at 3 and 2. Cisco, a long look at the sign. Now set. Jose Pagan leading off at second base. And here's the pitch. Fastball, he struck him out. Harvey Keene struck out, swinging on a high fastball for the second out here in the top of the 4th inning. And the batter now is Philippe Alou. That's strikeout number 4 for Galen Cisco. Now it's Choo-Choo Coleman talking with Cisco out in front of the pitcher's mound. Philippe Alou has walked and hit into a double play. Last year, he hit into fewer double plays than any player in the National League, tying Don Blasingame by hitting into only 4 double plays. A double play by the Mets made on Philippe Alou in the second inning was their 29th of the season. Alou batting .370. pitch is inside. The first pitch for ball one. Philippe leads the National League in batting. Giants 3, the Mets 1. Top of the fourth inning. Mets have 2 men out. Now Cisco set. Looks at second. Comes to the plate with a curve. There's a drive to left field. Way back there. Way back there. Home run. Across in front with a long line drive home run off of the facade of the upper deck, the lower facade of the upper deck, and that ball was really tagged. You can't hit a ball any harder than that. Here's the pitch to Willie McCovey. It is a strike call. Well, Philippe came into his own last year. He had a tremendous year, batting .316 with 25 home runs and 98 runs batted in. Right here this year, he's off batting .376. That home run was his 5th of the year, and he has driven in 18 runs. There's a strike call in the fastball in the inside corner. A home run giving the Giants 2 more runs. They need 5-1. Boy, that ball was really shot. Pitch back to McCovey, a curve. It's low for ball one. Giants had 6 home runs in yesterday's game. They won that one 17-4. Right now they have 2 home runs to count for all their 5 runs. There's a drive to right field. Going back at Playful. It's over his head. Into the bullpen. He'll go for at least a double, maybe a triple. Played now by Snider at deep right center. Here comes Cepeda to third. He is being held up. Relay throw thrown in by Ron Hunt. That ball was a line shot. It got over the top of Claypool's head before he could ever get back. Willie McCovey on at third base. Crowd now stirred up. The rain coming down just a little bit harder. And the batter is Willie Mays. He accounted for the first 3 runs of the game with a 3-run home run. And the first pitch to Mays. A fastball popped up down the left field line. It might be close enough to go in. It's right down the line. Coming over Thomas, and he makes the catch. The ball coming down, just missing the scoreboard, and Thomas caught it on the warning track. And that retires the side, but in the inning, the Giants score 2 runs on a tremendous home run by Philippe Alou. They made 3 hits in the inning, and they left 1 man on. And the score at the end, the 3 1/2 innings of play, the Giants 5, the New York Mets 1. Now for a change of pace, a musical medley.
New York first choice. It's like home exercise here. It's clean and light and crisp inside. It's really extra dry. You too will buy. But next time that you buy beer, the sparkling brews don't want for you. One thing will tell you why life goes through. Extra dry. Yes, Rheingold beer is here to stay because it's...
Moving out of the bottom half of the 4th inning, and the first pitch to Jim Harkness is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Jack Sanford on the mound for the Giants. 6 runs in the game, all 6 scoring as a result of home runs. 5-1 in favor of the Giants. And the pitch back to Harkness is bounced on the ground right down to the middle side, picked up by the second baseman. The throw to first is in time. So Tim Harkness is retired for the first time. It was his home run in the 2nd inning that gave the Mets their only run so far in this game. And the batter coming up is Choo-Choo Coleman. Coleman batting .146. Popped up to short his first time up. Mets have 4 hits in the game off Jack Sanford. He has struck out 3 and walked 2 through 3 1/3 innings. And the first pitch to Coleman, a left-hand batter, is a strike call. tremendous home runs by the Giants, one by Willie Mays for 3 runs and one by Philippe Alou. There's a pitch back. A curve low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sanford with a curveball. It's pulled foul. Going down at first base to get away from the ball, Solly Heeman. That moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jack Sanford, 34-year-old right-hander now, goes back to the plate. A swing and a miss for strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Sanford. Out number 2 here in the 4th inning. And it will bring up the shortstop, Al Moran. Al has one of the 4 hits off Sanford. He singled to center field his first time up. He's batting .224. Now Tracy Stollard warming up in the bullpen again for the Mets. Pitcher's the on-deck batter. And the first pitch to Moran, a strike call, the fastball, letter high. Giants with 5 runs, the Mets have 1. Bottom half of the 4th inning. Pitch back to the plate, loops out to right field. The Lou moves to his left. Now comes in. He moves fast and he makes the catch. Joe Sanford works the 4th inning, 1, 2, 3. And the score now at the end of 4 innings of play, the Giants 5, the Mets 1. Now to bring you up to date on the scores around the league, also the American League, here is Lindsey Nelson. The American League. The New York Yankees meet the Minnesota Twins in the latest start. It is Ralph Terry against Camilo Pascual. The end of 4 innings of play, the Chicago White Sox 3, the Washington Timbers nothing. Tom Kenny against Ray Herbert. Nicholson holding the 4th with 1 on. That's the first game of a doubleheader. At the end of 3.5 innings of play, the Baltimore Orioles 4, the Detroit Tigers 3. Hall against Reagan. 3 on Homer in the 2nd with 1 on, and Johnny Orsino Homer in the 4th with nobody on. Cleveland at Los Angeles to play the Angels in a later start. So that's the way things are going elsewhere right here through 4 innings of play. The Giants have 5 runs on 7 hits. The Mets have 1 run on 4 hits, and the Mets have just taken Galen Cisco out of the game, and they have brought in hard-throwing right-hander Tracy Sally, who is warming up right now. A slight rain still falling steadily here at the Polo Grounds. And right now, in order to allow our stations to identify themselves, we pause for station identification.
You are tuned to WGY Schenectady, your New York Mets station. The time is 27 before 4, and the temperature is 56 degrees.
Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner. Orlando Cepeda steps into the batter's box to face Tracy Sally. Top half of the 5th inning, and the pitch is high for a ball. There's a pitch swung on, and it is popped to deep short. Al Moran is back on the edge of the outfield grass, and he makes the catch for the out. Cepeda popping out to shortstop. And that will bring up Tom Haller, left-hand batter and catcher. Galen Cisco pitched 4 innings in which he gave up 5 runs. On 7 hits, he struck out 4 and he walked 3. Into the windup. Pitch to the left-hand batter, swung on. Foul out to the left side into the upper deck, out of play. Haller has a ground single through the hole into left and a walk in his 2 previous appearances. Then Stollard delivers a breaking ball that's low, and it's 1-1. Are on here at the Polo Grounds, and the top half of the 5th inning of the first game of a scheduled doubleheader. That pitch is high, away, comes all the way back, no damage done. There are no base runners. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Tom Haller. Philadelphia Phillies will be here on Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and Thursday afternoon. Fastball, high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Haller. Stollard gets his sign. 1 pitch. It's in there for a call, strike 2. A pitch far on and missed and comes on back, and Haller runs on down to first. His Choo-Choo comes over to retrieve the ball. So Choo-Choo Coleman did not hang on, and Tom Haller swinging on a third strike goes on down to first base, and now umpire Jack Sanford at second inspects the ball and is throwing it out. So Mel Steiner will have to put a new ball in play. Choo-Choo is now checking with umpire Mel Steiner. Scored as a strikeout, credited to Tracy Shallot on a pass ball charged against catcher Choo-Choo Coleman. Either way you figure it, the Giants get a base running. Rain's falling a little more heavily, and we're only in the top half of the fifth inning. We do not have an official ball game here as yet. Before what must be the biggest crowd of the season, although we have no official turnstile count as yet. Our estimate is that the crowd here today exceeds even that of Friday night when we had approximately 50,000 on hand. Here's Joey Amalfitano up with 1 man out. Pitch is inside for ball. Amalfitano has been called on a strike and grounded out third to first. There's a throw over. Haller gets back safely. Giants lead by a score of 5-1. Ballard with the pitch. Fired tight and hit the handle of the bat. It is that the crowd here today exceeds even that of Friday night when we had approximately 50,000 on hand. Here's Joey Amalfitano up with 1 man out. Pitch is inside for ball. Has been called on a strike and grounded out third to first. There's a throw over. Haller gets back safely. Giants lead by a score of 5-1. Ballard with the pitch. Fired tight and hit the handle of the bat. As the bat was dropped by Amalfitano, started down to first base, and the ruling of Mel Steiner, the umpires, that the ball hit the handle of the bat and not his arm. Amalfitano is holding out his arm, saying, "Look at it, it hit me in the yard." And now Alvin Dark joins the conference there. So does Whitey Lockman. Amalfitano still protesting violently that the ball hit him on the arm. Mel Steiner says it hit him in the handle of the bat. Tracy Shallot in his 8th game appearance here. Previously has pitched 7 in the 3rd innings in relief, in which he has allowed 8 runs on 10 hits. His record, no victories and 3 losses. One and one count to Amalfitano. Pitch is swung on the ground ball going through for a base hit into center field. Duke Snider charges it on the way to third. Here's Tom Haller. Snider plays to second. Holding at first is Amalfitano. So the Giants have runners at first and third. 1 man out in shortstop. Jose Pagan coming up. Giants been up twice and he has 2 hits. Giants lead in this game by a score of 5-1. They got off to a very early lead on Galen Cisco when Harvey Keene would walk, Philippe Alou would walk, and after McCovey fouled out to the catcher, Willie Mays hit a long home run into the upper deck in left field. The Giants had a 3-0 lead. Tim Harkness homered for the Mets in the bottom of the second to make it 3-1, but the Giants came back to get 2 more on Philippe Alou's home run with Pagan aboard in the top of the 4th, and that's where we are right now. The Giants lead 5-1. Pitch to the right-hand batter is inside for ball 1. Larry Bernard, the right-hander, is up and throwing in the bullpen for the Mets now. Larry Bernard. Runners lead at first and third, and the pitch to Pagan is swung on and foul back. It's in the upper deck out of play. 1-1. It has been raining just like this for a little more than an inning now. Not enough to get the ground wet by any manner of means as yet. Ballard looks in to get a side from 2-2 Coleman. One man out here in the top half of the fifth inning. Pitch is swung on and foul back. This one's out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pagan, standing outside the batter's box, now comes in. A count to him of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners lead at first and third. Pitch is swung on and fouled off and out of play. Count holds at 1 and 2. Comes back in now to settle himself. Waits a moment. Now he's in. Tom Haller is the base runner at third, and Joey Malfitano at first. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on, and it's a ground ball going through the hole into right field for a base hit. Haller comes on to score. Malfitano's on his way to third. Hunt picks up the ball in short right. Plays it in, and Malfitano holds it third. It's a ground single to right, and a run batted in for Jose Pagan. The Giants lead by a score of 6-1. Pitcher Jack Sanford coming up. Still 1 man out. Runners at first and third for the Giants. Sanford in the second inning tried to bunt and popped out to first base. He stalled out on strikes in the top half of the fourth inning. So let's see what manager Alvin Dodge does with Sanford this time. 1 man out. Runners at first and third. Giants lead 6-1. It's in there for a called strike. Throw down to first is not in time. He had the bad shot to go to swing, but was moving back on a breaking ball as he did and didn't offer, and was right in there for a called strike. Then Tracy Shallard is setting the pitch. Overhand hits the dirt, but he swung on and missed. 2-strike count. You just might suspect that Jack Sanford has made up his mind before looking at one, because he had to get out there in front of the plate, but he took a hefty cut. And it was blocked by 2-2 Coleman. 2-strike count now to Sanford. As they get another ball in play. Down at first and Malfitano at third. 1 man out and 2-strike pitch to Sanford. Sails high, and it's 1 and 2. Here's a 1-2 pitch, and it's in there for a call, strike 3. Tracy Shallard with his second strikeout. Harvey Keene is coming up now. Runners at first and third. The Giants leading here with 6 runs on 9 hits. The Mets have 1 run on 4 hits. Section deal. Fastball in there for a called strike to the right-hand batter. Keene has walked, was on a field of choice, and struck out swinging. Runner's going to second to throw through, and here's a throw back to the plate, and he's out at the plate as Malfitano is out on the attempted double steal. And it went from Capitano to retire the side. And in the top half of the fifth, the Giants got 1 run on 2 hits, no errors and 1 left. And at the end of 4 1/2, the score is the Giants 6, the Mets 1.
My beer is fine gold, the dry beer. Think of flying gold whenever you buy beer. It's not bitter, it's not sweet, it's a dry flavored treat. So try extra dry Rheingold beer.
And now you can enjoy famous Rheingold Extra Dry in the new Jug-a-Mug. It's the first and only beer container with a wide mouth and a top that's so easy to open. Just pull the tab on top straight out, then straight up and off. You drink right from the Jug-a-Mug. No glasses, no opener, no deposit, no fooling. Jug-a-Mug holds the same and just the same as the 12-ounce can. Buy it now wherever famous Rheingold Extra Dry is sold.
My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. Jug-a-Mug is a new way to buy beer. Better get some today. Jug-a-Mug, what you say? What a great way to drink Rheingold beer.
Scored in that inning by the Giants was unearned. The Mets are going to send the pinch hitter up here for Tracy Stallard in the bottom of the fifth. It is Cliff Cook batting for Stallard and Larry Bernard. Bill throws in the bullpen. Cliff Cook is a right-hand batter and has 30 times this year and has 2 hits, 1 run batted in. Jack Sanford, 6 and 5, and it's low for a ball. Again the pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. 1-1. And the pitch is low. 2-1. Pitch. Swing and a foul back onto the screen out of play. It's 2-2. There's a huge sign being lofted out now in the center field bleachers that says Mets see, Giants no. Dr. Cook is 2-2. Sanford's pitch is swung on. It's a one-hopper to shortstop. Taken at the gun, and he plays over to Cepeda in time. Cliff Cook has grounded out. Short to first. 1 away, and Charlie Neal is coming up. Charlie's been up twice and on twice. He singled right in the first, and he walked the second. Here's the right-hand batter, Sanford, with the pitch. Swung on and foul back. We do not have an official ball game until this half inning is over. The Giants are leading 6-1. That pitch is outside for ball. Swinging a ground ball to the right side. Cepeda's going to go for you. That's play for Cook to Sanford, and he's safe at first base as the throw eludes Sanford, and Hallen takes it. In the backup position, Charlie Neal is on at first. It's scored as an error. So the Mets get a base runner here. A throwing error on Cepeda. As Sanford came over to cover, he actually didn't lead him. He threw behind him. So with 1 away, Ron Hunt will be coming up. Short to first. You can hear the Mets fans. And it keeps this rally going in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Swing and a miss. It's strike 1.
that he is never totally discouraged or even downhearted. It is raining. The Mets are trailing for 5 runs, and listen to what you hear. It's in there for a ball strike. 2 strikes out to Huck. Pitch is high and away. 1-2 to Hunt. Hunt's season batting average is .315. Not trying to hold Neal on his first. Swinging a foul ball, right side and out of play. 1-2. Duke Snider's on deck for the Mets. Sanford getting his sign. Into a set position. Pitch is low. It's 2-2. Right-hander Larry Bernard still throwing in the bullpen for the Mets with Tracy Shattered now, of course, out of the ball game. There it goes again. Let's go Mets. Brilliant sunny day. Temperature was 80 at game time. Then came the overcast and the slow drizzle. Jack Sanford comes set. Pitch is swung on and missed. 2 strikes out to the Duke. Pool on deck here. Neal leads off the bag at first. Pitch is high and away to Snider. 1-2. Sanford has a sign. There's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and does the shoot to right center. Mays is going back, and Willie makes the basket catch and beats center field. And the out that retires the side. Snider got a hold of that one, gave it a long ride. So we've completed 5 innings, making it an official ball game. In the bottom half of the 5th, the Mets got no runs, no hits. There was 1 error and 1 left. And the at the end of 5. The score is Giants 6 to Mets 1. And if you like music, I think you'll love this.
For the first right taste of fine gold is what the food deserves. It goes with chips, potatoes, chips, and even with hors d'oeuvres. Oh, it's just too sweet when served with sweet and flavored, crisp and bright. A sparkling glass of fine gold beer is life and such spice. Although it's fine or plain inside, and next to food it's great. A glorious glass of fine gold, it's beer and beer's the taste.
Rheingold Extra Dry is brewed of the choicest ingredients, the long, slow, costlier way for flavor that's rich and bright and clean clear through. It's beer as beer should taste. Dry tells you why.
My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. Think of Rheingold whenever you buy beer. It's not bitter, not sweet, it's the dry flavor treat. Won't you try extra dry Rheingold beer?
We have 2 changes for the New York Mets. Larry Bernard has come in to pitch, and Larry Burright has come in to play second base in place of Ron Hunt. We'll let you know in just a moment exactly how they will be batted in the batting order. My guess is that Larry Burright will probably bat ninth, and Bernard will probably bat second, since Burright will be coming up first. And that's the way it's going to be. Umpire Mel Steiner is signaling up now to announcer Jack Lee, the public address announcer here, signaling that Bernard's going to bat second. That means that Burright will be batting ninth. He comes up first in the batting order. Since the number 4 man will be coming up in the bottom of the 6th. We'll be going to the top of the 6th, and Bernard will be facing Harvey Keene, Polo and Willie McCovey. Tracy Stallard pitched only 1 inning for the Mets in relief from Cisco. Stallard allowed 1 run. It was unearned. On 2 hits, he struck out 2 and he walked none. Cisco is the pitcher of record, and the sun is breaking broken through. And John cheering for the sunshine. Yes. As we get set to go. So we're going to be all right for a lot more baseball here at the Polo Grounds this afternoon. Harvey Keene was at the plate when the Giants tried the double steal, which saw Joey Malfacama thrown out at the plate and in the top of the 5th. So Keene is up there to lead off right now. Larry Bernard with the pitch, and it's in there for a called strike 1. Giants 6 to Mets 1, top half of the 6th inning, first game of a doubleheader. Swing out a pop down towards Charlie Neal at third. He is near the bag and makes the catch in fair territory. So Keene pops out. Neal, there's 1 away, and Philippe Malou is coming up. This guy is going like a house of fire. He's hitting .376. He started the day hitting .374 and leading the National League in batting, and he's added 2 points to the batting average in addition to picking up a home run and 2 runs batted in. He gave him 18 runs batted in thus far. Swung on, and it's a fly ball to right center field. Ed Greenpool has got you, pounds the glove, moves a little, and makes the catch. Flies to right, 2 away, nobody on, and Willie McCovey comes up. Fouled out to the catcher, struck out swinging and triple. We're in the top of the 6th, so that this is now an official ball game. That pitcher's in there for a call strike. There's a swing, and I'm popped to deep short. Moran moves back. He calls for it. He's on the outfield grass, and he makes the catch. So Bernard comes in to set the Giants down in order here in the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. At the end of 5 1/2, the score is this. Giants 6, Mets 1. We'll be going here to the bottom of the 6th. Before we do, we pause for station identification.
WGY is Schenectady, 810 on your dial, where the time is 4 o'clock and the temperature is 56 degrees.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Snyder. At Polo Grounds, Ed Craneville is up there to lead off for the Mets. One big banner over on the third base side says, "Yay, Duke, let's go Mets." Jack Sanford on the mound for the Giants, into the motion, and here is the pitch. In there for a called strike one. The Mets got there 1 run in the bottom half of the second when Tim Harkness hit a leadoff home run over the roof in right field. Pitch is tight. It's ball 1, 1-1. The Mets thus far have 4 hits off Sanford. Neal single in the first, Harkness homered, and Moran single in the second. Snider single in the third. There's a swing and a miss. 1-2 to Craneville. Thomas is on deck for the Mets. 1-2 pitch. Fastball outside. It's 2-2. Jack Sanford, the pitcher. Pitch is fired outside. Full count to Craneville. Sanford has a birthday coming up, the 18th of this month. There's a swing and a little number right back to Sanford. He lobs on over to first base. Cepeda takes it for the out. One away for the Mets in the bottom of the sixth, and Frank Thomas is coming up. Frank is grounded out 60 to first and was called out on strike. As you've joined us along the way, Willie Mays put the Giants out in front with a 3-run homer in the top half of the first inning. There's a pitch to Thomas. Swung on and fouled back out of play. It's strike one. Mets have an off day tomorrow. They will travel up to the United States Military Academy at West Point, take on the cadets in an afternoon contest there. And they'll come into the Polo Grounds Tuesday night to meet the Phils. Thomas did not swing. He swung his body around, did not swing the bat, and hit the ball. 1-1. Sanford kicks and fires. There's a swing and a foul tip. 1-2. Jack Sanford's a right-hander, and as he pitches, he swings his left foot across his body and back before getting unwound. What a big winner he was for the Giants last year. One-two pitch is low in the dirt. 2-2. Happy day for the Giants, the day they traded with the Phils for Jack Sanford. They got him in exchange for catcher Valmy Thomas and pitcher Ruben Gomez. It's a swing and a ground ball to third, taken deep by Harvey Keene across the diamond. The throw is low, and he's safe at first base. Orlando Cepeda couldn't dig it up. It's a throwing error charged against Harvey Keene, putting Frank Thomas on at first base and bringing up Tim Harkness, the man who had the homer for the Mets in the bottom of the second. Hey, there's no time like the present, and what better way to use it than to pour yourself a tall, cold glass of Rheingold Extra Dry. Enjoy a friendly glass of Rheingold Extra Dry along with the game. Pitch to the left-hand batter, and it's in there for a called strike. One man out, and the runner is first for the Mets, batting in the bottom.
bottom of the sixth, with the Giants leading 6-1. Playing a ground ball that is going to the left side, going to go through for a base hit. Thomas continues and then starts to go back, flips, and does make it back to second. Ball is punched through the hole, and there's a question who's going to go to the bag and who's going to go for the ground ball, and Harvey Keene and Jose Pagan actually got a little mixed up on their signals. Keene started for it. Pagan thought he was going to go for it, then he went back to the ball, went through. He died out there in short left field. But it is a base hit for Tim Harkness. Moved Thomas to second. He rounded second, bluffed a big turn, and then slipped as he started back. Duke Coleman is coming up for the Mets. Crowd comes alive here. They'd like to see Coleman bell one, of course, to get the Mets within reach. Sanford steps off the rubber. Runners holding first and second. Pitch is fine. It's a ground ball to Cepeda deep. He turns, goes to second. They get around there. There's no relay. As Harkness is forced, Pagan took Cepeda's throw at second. Thomas moved on to third. But Duke Coleman is on at first, having forced Harkness. There goes 3 6 if you're scoring. Thomas moves to third. 2 men out, and shortstop Homerun coming up. There's never any doubt in the mind of Orlando Cepeda where he was going with that one, since it was a hard hit ground ball. Harkness had not had a chance to get any sort of a start, and Cepeda simply squared and fired on to Jose Pagan. Harkness was sliding in so that Pagan had no chance to make a return throw. Sanford checks, and the pitch to the right-hand batter is low for ball one. Larry Burright is on deck now, batting number 9 in the batting order of the Mets, in case you're keeping a scorecard. There's a breaking ball is tied, 2-0. Well, the rain has stopped. And the fans, most of them have returned to their seats, and as far as I can tell, nobody went home. They just went underneath a little shelter and moved around a little bit. Because we still have, to all intents and purposes, a full house here at the Polo Grounds. 2-0 pitch to Moran. Fine, it's a ground ball to deep short. Going through for a base hit. Off the glove of Pagan. Thomas scores. Choo-choo goes to third. Moran holds with a single left, a run got it in. So it is now 6-2. Pagan got over the side of the backhand stab, and he actually did get the glove on the ball just barely. It was just deflected, continued right on out into left field. Coleman went to third. This is first and third, and Larry Burright coming up. And Larry Jackson, the pitching coach of the Giants, up in the dugout, sitting down the bullpen, saying he wants a little action. They don't have it yet, but they'll get it in a minute because the pitching coach has sent the sign down. Here's a pitch to Burright in there for a called strike. The Mets have action in their bullpen tonight. That's John Rowe. And we're getting action right now in the Giant bullpen. Here's a pitch to Burright. It's in there for a solid strike, and Bob Boland is the man up and throwing for the Giants. The right-hander, Bob Boland. Sanford has 2 quick strikes on Burright here. It's the Giants 6, the Mets 2. That pitch misses outside the Burright. It's 1-2. Sanford thought he might get a call, but didn't. 2 men out, so it's up to Burright as far as the Mets are concerned if they're going to keep the rally alive. Runners lead at first and third, and here's the pitch. Low and away for a ball. It's 2-2. Pitch swung on and has a fly ball to right. Long run over for a Lou, but he can get to it in foul territory, makes the catch. right down in the corner in foul territory. So in the bottom of the sixth, the Mets got 1 run. It was unearned on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. And at the end of 6, the score is the Giants 6, the Mets 2. Coming in here now to carry you the rest of the way is Bob Murphy. Thank you very kindly, Lindsay. We'll be going now to the 7th inning with Larry Bernarth on the mound for the New York Mets. Next weekend should be another big weekend of baseball in front of the Polo Grounds. On Friday night, the Cincinnati Reds will open a 4-game weekend series. The game next Saturday afternoon with Cincinnati will be a Ladies' Day game. And next Sunday, a doubleheader with the Reds, which will wind up the 15-game homestand for New York. So we hope you're making your plans during the week for a big weekend of baseball next weekend with the Mets and Cincinnati Reds. Tickets on sale at the advanced sale window here at the Polo Grounds. Also, for your convenience, the Grand Central Station near the 42nd and Vanderbilt ramp, and the Long Island waiting room of the Penn Station. Willie Mays coming out to face Larry Bernarth as we go along to the 7th inning. Giants 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. New York 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. Larry Bernarth starting his 2nd inning of relief. He retired Keene, Alou, and McCovey in order in the 6th inning. Now the hitter is Willie. He jacked up and hit a tremendous 3-run homer in the opening inning. Pitch thrown by Bernarth drives him back from the plate. 1 ball and no strike. Willie has hit a 3-run homer, fly deep to left center, and fly to left. Now Bernarth, young right-hander, winds and pitches. Hit down the right field line. This is veering foul toward the upper deck. Now we have a pretty nice day. Sun occasionally breaking through the clouds. The lights are still on. And the infield dried up in a hurry. 1 ball, 1 strike to Willie Mays. Next pitch by Bernarth. Under the knees, ball 2, 2-1. Orlando Cepeda on deck, and then Tom Haller. Coleman crossed behind the plate, setting that low target. A ground ball whacks the shortstop. Up with it is Al Moran. He strides and throws. In time, and Willie is out. 1 away, nobody on. Now Cepeda. Cepeda has 1 for 3, a double off the right field barrier. Orlando hitting at .347, and he has 6 home runs and 18 RBIs. Cepeda leading the Giants with 6 homers. But Philippe Alou, Ed Bailey, and Willie Mays have all hit 5. And Willie McCovey has hit 4. Swing and a miss, strike 1. What a rip that was by Orlando Cepeda. Out of his windup, the pitch outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. They're in the last of the 9th inning in the first game at Philadelphia. Houston leading the Phillies 5-4. Dodgers and Pirates go to the 9th inning, tied up 3-3. Pitching 1-1. Beautiful changeup by Larry Bernarth. He really slowed up on that one. In the last inning, he threw McCovey a great change-up and got him to pop the ball up. Boy, that was quite a change of pace by Larry Bernarth. 1-2 the count now on Orlando Cepeda. In comes the pitch. Fastball low in the count, even 2-2. the seventh inning in the opener in Cincinnati. The Reds leading the Cardinals 5-3. Cubs 3 and the Braves nothing after 4 1/2. A single game at Milwaukee. Cal Kuntz against Tony Cloninger. Pitching 2-2. Ground ball hit toward short to his left. Al Moran. He's up with it. The peg to Harkness, 2 down. Two up and two set aside now by Larry Bernard. That brings on Tom Haller. 2 outs, nobody on. We're at the top of the seventh inning, first game of a doubleheader. Now Bernard, out of his windup, the pitch. Ground ball hit hard up the middle for a base hit. There is the first hit given up by Larry Bernard. He had retired 5 in a row in relief. He'll bring up Joey Amalfitano. Amalfitano, right-hand batter. 1 for 3. In the third, 2-2 comes up with it. 1 ball and no strike. Quick throw to first, not in time. Now Larry Bernard looking in to get his sign from 2-2. 2 outs and 1 on. Pitch to Amalfitano is in the dirt again, blocked by Coleman. No advance on the lines, and the count goes 2-0. In the second game of the day, it'll be Carl Willie against Billy Pierce. Is holding against Tom Haller. Ground ball stabbed by Larry Bernard. Thrown to first, the side is out. Snider was hit hard, but Larry got it in the glove hand. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, and 1 left on. Seventh inning stretch time at the end of 6.5 innings. The score, the Giants 6 and the Mets 2. Smart hitter tries to look over the pitches until he gets the one that's right for him. The same thing goes for filter cigarette smokers. Now look them all over and you'll hit on Viceroy. Because Viceroy tastes the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. Not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Now what do I mean by the taste that's right? Well, if you smoke all 7 leading filter brands, you'll find some kind of taste like the unfiltered kind, and they succeed. The result? They're too strong. Others taste too light. They filter all the fun and flavor out of smoking. But Viceroy's not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. That's right, fans. Try Viceroy in the exclusive new slide top case. It's crush-proof like a box, but works far easier. It slides right open, slides shut tight. Either way, familiar softback or new slide top case, Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Well, we have action in both bullpens as we go to the home 7th inning. Don Rowe loosening up for New York. Right-hander Bob Bolin for San Francisco. Charlie Neal leading off against Jack Sanford in the last half of the 7th inning. And the wonderful fans of the New York Mets now come up again in unison with their chant, "Let's go Mets." Time to get something going. Fouled back over our broadcasting booth under the upper deck and out of play. Larry Bernard is scheduled to hit next. Larry is out on the on-deck, but he's a pretty good hitter. Pitch is over. Ball strike. And a 2-strike count now on Charlie Neal. Charlie has singled to right, drawn a walk, and reached safely on a throwing error by Orlando Cepeda. strikes it off the outside corner. He's trying to get him to go for a bad ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitching 1 and 2. Outside and low, he lays off, and the count even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In Philadelphia, Gene Mott's Phillies got 2 in the last of the 9th inning to pull a game right out of the fire, and beat Houston 6-5. Jack Hamilton, the winner in relief, and Al Woodership was the loser in relief. Foul ball off, no play, 2-2 on Charlie Neal. Last year, the Phillies beat Houston 17 out of 18 games, and they're picking up right where they left off last year. Now the windup, 2-2 delivery. Frank free call. The curve's off the outside corner. That's number 6 in the game for right-hander Jack Sanford, and brings up Larry Bernard. This will be Larry's first time up in the game. Now as Larry comes up to hit, Don Rowe stops warming up in the bullpen. Last year, Sanford was 24-7. A slow grounder right back to the mound, easily handled by Sanford. 2 men down. 2 outs and nobody on now. That brings up the Duke. And the Duke has 1 hit and 3 times up in the game today. His last time up, he sent Willie Mays back deep into center field to pull in a long drive. Here's the pitch on the way. A foul ball. Whacked back upstairs and out of play. Again today, it has been the Giant home run power, providing them with a big lead. Yesterday, their first 9 runs were knocked in with homers. 12 of their 17 came in as the result of home runs. Today, home runs have driven in 5 of the 6 scored by San Francisco. Foul ball, back upstairs. This will be out of play, and the count strike 2 now on Duke Snider. Jack Sanford getting out in front on just about every hitter. To the 9th inning to pull a game right out of the fire, and beat Houston 6-5. Jack Hamilton, the winner in relief, and Al Woodership was the loser in relief. Foul ball off, no play, 2-2 on Charlie Neal. Last year, the Phillies beat Houston 17 out of 18 games, and they're picking up right where they left off last year. Up 2-2 delivery. Frank free call. The curve's off the outside corner. That's number 6 in the game for right-hander Jack Sanford, and brings up Larry Bernard. This will be Larry's first time up in the game. Comes up to hit. Don Rowe stops warming up in the bullpen. Last year, Sanford was 24-7. A slow grounder right back to the mound, easily handled by Sanford. 2 men down. 2 outs and nobody on now. That brings up the Duke. And the Duke has 1 hit and 3 times up in the game today. His last time up, he sent Willie Mays back deep into center field to pull in a long drive. Here's the pitch on the way. A foul ball. Whacked back upstairs and out of play. Again today, it has been the Giant home run power, providing them with a big lead. Yesterday, their first 9 runs were knocked in with homers. 12 of their 17 came in as the result of home runs. Today, home runs have driven in 5 of the 6 scored by San Francisco. Foul ball, back upstairs. This will be out of play, and the count strikes 2 now on Duke Snider. Jack Sanford getting out in front on just about every hitter. Crane's rule is crouched on deck, hoping that the Duke can save him a turn at bat here in the home 7th inning. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Strikeout number 7 for Jack Sanford. A very strong inning for him. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. 7 innings complete. The score, the Giants 6, and the New York Mets 2. Minnesota Twins lead the Yankees 2-0 in a single game at the end of 3 1/2. Ralph Perry against Camilo Pascual. Lenny Green homered, nobody on. They're the last of the 8th in the opener in Chicago. The White Sox lead Washington 7-0 behind Ray Herbert. Dave Nicholson and Ronnie Hansen have homers. Big day for the Tigers. They lead the Orioles 11-4 after 5 1/2. 2 home runs by Bill Freehat, each with a man on, and 1 by John Orsino of Baltimore. Red Sox are out in the first without scoring at Kansas City. Dave Moorhead against Orlando Pena. Here are the warm-ups in Los Angeles for Cleveland. 20-game winner Dick Donovan. For the Angels, Bo Borski. Right here we go to the 8th inning in the opener of a doubleheader. And Jose Pagan is up against Benas. Bunts the ball, pops it in the air. Caught by Benas on the run near the line. Fielding play by Larry Benas. That ball wasn't very high in the air. He really had to go fast to get to the line and pick it off. 1 away and nobody on. Now the 8th inning, the batter Jack Sanford. Jack getting a hand from the fans here in the Polo Grounds for his top pitcher. Out of his windup, and the pitch is a strike, a curve on the outside corner. Larry Benas has been the most effective pitcher for the Mets in this Giants series so far. The exception of Jay Hook, who pitched a good ball game in the opener on Friday night. Strike 2 called, another one on the outside corner. Nobody out in the 8th inning with the Giants leading by 4 runs. They're in front 6-2. Now out in front on the count. And the curve is fouled up toward the television booth and out of play. Harvey Keene at the top of the batting order will be hitting next. Up and pitched by Benas. A ground ball hit sharply off the glove of Al Moran and on into left field. Al tried to backhand it on the first hop as he ran toward the hole. We'll wait for the scoring. It'll be an error charge for Al Moran. Giants have a base runner and Harvey Keene coming up. And while we're waiting for Harvey, let's pause for station identification.
WGY, the General Electric Station, Schenectady, New York.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Tanner. We're in the 8th inning of the opener of the doubleheader. Harvey Keene is up. Harvey has been on with a walk, scored a run on Willie's homer. Otherwise, he's 0 for 3. Knee-high fastball, strike 1 call. Let's have the infield straight away and hoping for a chance for 2. Breaking ball in the dirt, but 2-2's got it. 1 ball, 1 strike. pitch by Benoit. Inside and low, 2-1 on Hart, hitting Harvey. Keen, an 11-year veteran, and a last-time 300 hitter. Back to Bernard, who plays back to Burr right. There's one, now to first. Double play, and the side is out. Larry Bernard to Larry Burr right to Tim Hartnett. Second double play of the game for the New York Mets. No runs, no hits, one error, and none left on. And now at the end of 7.5 innings to score, the Giants 6 and the Mets 2. Let's listen now to an old favorite brought up to date.
Extra dry beer is the name of my beer. Bring it bright with wet and brew. Rheingold flavor swing clear through. It's not sweet or bitter. That's why folks consider Rheingold is the beer to buy. And dry will tell you why. Rheingold Extra Dry has friends by the millions because it's beer as beer should taste. Rich, bright, and clean clear through. Dry tells you why. Oh, the extra flavor Rheingold gives you favor. Here is beer as beer should taste. That's the reason to make it. Next time you're out shopping in a tavern popping, why not sing out clear and high? Rheingold Extra Dry. My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. Think of Rheingold whenever you buy beer. It's not bitter, not sweet. It's dry flavor sweet. Dry, extra dry, Rheingold beer.
Defensive switch as we go to the last of the 8th inning. And now Patano moves to third. Keene comes out of the game. And Ernie Bowman is now playing second base. Eddie Crane's will be up first in the last of the 8th inning, facing Jack Sanford. Sanford is trying for victory number 5 and for his 4th complete game in the young season. Windup, the pitch to Greenpool, under the knees, 1 ball and no strikes. Eddie has drawn a walk, bounced into a double play, started by Patano and been thrown out by the pitcher. Foul back, 1 ball, 1 strike. It's all over in Pittsburgh. The Dodgers got 4 in the 9th inning and defeated the Pirates 7-3. In there, strike call to Eddie Greenpool, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The big hit for the Dodgers today was a 3-run homer in the 9th by Lee Walls. Line drive in the air to left field, coming in. Willie McCovey can't make a play on it. It breaks off his glove. Goes behind it. He has to chase it. Eddie Greenpool goes to second and holds there. To left field for Eddie Greenpool. Mets now have a total of 7 hits in the game. They trail 6-2, and the hitter is Frank Thomas. Frank trying to fight his way out of a batting slump. 0 for 3 this afternoon. A grounded out to the pitcher, taking a call third strike, and reached safely on an error. Pretty hard to dampen the enthusiasm of the New York Mets baseball fans. Foul back, strike 1. Now on the double by Eddie Greenpool, the fans are once again yelling, "Let's go Mets." That has become the battle cry. They started yelling, "Let's go Mets," when they got off the subway and started walking to the Polo Grounds. Fly ball popped into the air on the right side of the diamond. Ernie Bowman calling for it. Behind second, he has it for the out. that brings up Tim Harkness. Tim has a home run in 3 times up. He homered leading off the second inning. Inside and high. 1 ball, no strike. Now Sanford comes to the stop. And the pitch is popped foul toward the backstop, running back down Haller, but he'll have no play. It's against the screen. 1-1 on Tim Harkness. Say, do you know why Rheingold tastes so good? Well, dry tells you why. So why not find that out for yourself? Enjoy a cold glass of Rheingold Extra Dry right now along with the game. Hit hard, a nice into right field for a base hit. Greenfield around third, he'll score. The peg comes into second base. Now it's 6-3. Hard liner. Ernie Bowman tried to play it on the first half and just barely kicked his glove. It's hardly slowed it up. So Harkness now has his third hit in 4 times at bat, his second RBI. It is a 6-3 ball game with T.T. Coleman coming up. Bob Boland cranking up again in the Giants bullpen. Let's now have 3 runs, 8 hits. Juju 0 for 3. It's popped to short, been struck out, reached on a fielder's choice. Brad really letting it go now. A foul ball back toward the upper deck and out of play. One away and 1 on. Harkness on first after a run-scoring single to right field. Now the pitch by Sanford, and 2-2 pops it up. Infield pop fly, calling for it. Ernie Bowman, the second baseman. Midway between first and second, he takes it for the out. Now there are 2 away, and the hitter will be Al Moran, but Al is being called back to the dugout. Morris Thornberry will come out to hit for him. Casey to bat for Al Moran. Mets hitting a long ball here. Feeling 6-3 last half of the 8th inning. Giants 6 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. New York 3 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors. Third relief ball by Larry Bernard has given the Mets a chance to try and fight their way back in this game. Swing and a miss. Fastball by Sanford, and Thornberry went after it. Marv 2 for 13 on the year. It's been used almost exclusively as a pinch hitter by Casey. Cepeda not holding against Tim Harkness. Now he does move up to the bag. Here's the pitch. He lays off, and it's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Thornberry waiting. Outside and high. He lets that one go, and the count 2 balls and a strike. Larry Burright will be up next. Then Charlie Neal if the Mets can keep it alive. 1 run in on a double by Eddie Cranepool and a single to right field by Tim Harkness. Pitching 2-1. Fastball over for a call strike, 2-2. Now thrown very cocktails the bat around, cocks it off the shoulder. Ball 3, and the string is down 3-2. The runner on first will be in motion on 3-2 and 2 men down. Now the stretch by Sanford. Here goes Harkness. Here's the pitch. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. He threw him a breaking ball on 3-2 and struck him out for his 8th strikeout of the game. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on. At the end of 8 innings of the opener, the score, the Giants 6 and the New York Mets 3. So we'll be going to the 9th inning, and as we do so, let's go along with Ralph Kiner. Okay, Bob, it's 6-3, and it's been another one of those ball games. A lot of thrills, a lot of excitement, and Jack Sanford has been pitching very well in the clutch for the San Francisco Giants against the New York Mets. Well, the Mets, in addition to having many new faces on the club this year, they also have a brand new official song called Meet the Mets. And I'm sure many of you already have heard it, if not have sung it already. This catchy 45 RPM record with 2 versions of the song, one with a vocal, the other strictly instrumental, is now available. And as there are only a limited number of first edition records available, you'll want to get on the bandwagon right away, I'm sure. As a baseball fan, you'll want this highly prized souvenir item in your collection. And to obtain your copy of the Meet the Mets record, send $1 to Mets official song, Polo Grounds, New York 39, New York. Moving now to the top of the 9th inning, the Giants coming up. They lead by 3, and in the game for the Mets at third base is Rod Chenille. Rod Chenille replacing Al Moran at the 8th position in the batting order. Charlie Neal is in the game. He has been moved from third to short. Also in the game at second base, Larry Burride. On the mound, it's Larry Bernard. And Larry now pitching to his first man here in the 9th inning, Philippe Alou, and he picks up a strike in the inside corner. Only one man has reached on Larry Bernard as a result of a base hit. That was Tom Haller with a single to center field in 3 innings of work. There's a curve over Alou's head. He goes down. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alou is 1 for 4 in the game, but his 1 hit, a long home run with a man on. Giants have scored 5 of their 6 runs on home runs. 3 of them coming on Willie Mays' home run, 2 on Alou's. Bernard's back, a swing of foul ball. The ball bouncing off the leg of Chico Coleman. Coleman walking out in front of home plate. Ball bounced out of the dirt and bounced up and hit Coleman right on the leg. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Here's the final score. Ray Herbert pitched a 3-hit shutout to defeat the Washington Senators 8-0. Home runs by Nicholson and Hansen, former Baltimore Oriole players, accounting for 3 of the runs scored by the White Sox. Herbert, the winning pitcher, teaming the losing pitcher. Now Bernard's back inside with a fastball. Sends Alou out of there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bernard, the right-hander, looking for design. He has a tough end in the head. Big men coming up. Now the pitch back to Lou. And there's a drive to left. It's really hit way back there. Thomas goes back. He makes the catch. Frank Thomas, a real tough catch, coming up with the ball right by the wall. He caught it backhand and crashed into the wall at the same time. One of the hardest catches in baseball to make, and that ball was well tagged by Felipe Alou. So Bernard gets his first man out here in the ninth inning, and it brings up Willie McCovey. Willie has 1 hit and 4 times up. Alou, by going out, is now batting .368. He leads the National League. And the first pitch to McCovey is a curveball for ball 1. Willie batting .321. His one hit a triple, a line shot over the head of right fielder Ed Cranepool. Cranepool playing a deep right field right now. Pitch back by Bernard is outside. 1 ball, now 2. A home run hit by Alou was hit just like the ball that Thomas got, only harder, and it hit against the facade of the upper deck. 2-0 pitch inside for ball 3. You look at the San Francisco Jag club and you see some big men in McCovey and Cepeda, but Alou is probably built better than any of them. He is really strong. Now McCovey going for the 3-0 pitch, topping the ball out by the pitcher's mound. Bernard's up with it. He throws to first in time, out number 2. And it brings up Willie Mays. But it was a 3-run home run in the first inning to give the Giants the lead. And that's their way to lead it. 6-3 right now by 3 runs. And the first pitch to Mays is low for ball 1. Mays, in batting against Bernard, grounded out to shortstop in his only try. He hit a curveball that time. Ball is well hit. Now Bernard comes back with a slow change. It bounces in the dirt. 2 balls and no strike. Giants have 6 runs on 10 hits. 5 of the runs coming off Galen Cisco, the starting pitcher, and 7 of the hits. Tracy Stollard gave up a run. It was unearned, and he allowed 2 hits. Bernard, in going now through 6 2/3 innings, has given up no runs, allowed only 1 hit. I should say 3 2/3 innings. It's his longest outing. Now the 2-0 pitch to Mays. It's fouled away. And Bernard picks up his first strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mays batting .245. He has 5 home runs, 11 runs batted in. He's had 3 hits in the series. Now the pitch back. A change of good. Change of pace. A swing and a miss by Mays. Strike 2. You can watch Willie Mays many times in your life. You'll never see him fooled any more than he was that time. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He was way out in front, swung over the top of the change of pace, almost fell down. Bernard with a good change of pace, using it very well here today. Now he's even at 2-2. Here's the swing. Now the pitch. Bouncy ball hit down to third base in foul territory. Rod Cannell picks it up. And the count holds at 2-2. Willie going for an outside pitch, pulling the ball right down the left field line. Top of the 9th inning, 2 men out. The score 6-3. Giants lead. Back to work, and a fastball is hit right through the middle on the ground for a base hit. Coming in is the center fielder, Snider. He throws. Mays with a wide turn now goes back to first base. The second hit given up by Bernard. The second hit in the game for Willie Mays, and the batter will be Orlando Cepeda. With 1 hit and 4 times up. It was a double off the right field wall. Has kept his batting streak going. He has hit in 7 consecutive games. He has hit in 14 of his last 15. Right-hand batting first baseman. And here's the pitch by Bernard. Mays at first. And the pitch is a curve in the dirt dug out by the catcher. Ball one. Giants lead by 3, top of the 9th inning. Larry Bernard, the third pitcher used in the game by manager Casey Stengel, working on the mound. Giving Cisco the starter. Tracy Stoddard after Cisco, now Larry. Here's the stretch position. And the throw to the plate. A curve hit off the end of the bat down towards second base. Burright comes up with the ball. He throws to Neal at second base to retire the side. In the inning for the Giants, no runs on one hit. No errors, one man left. And the score at the end of 8 1/2 innings of play. The Giants 6, the New York Mets 3. And the Mets now coming to bat in the bottom half of the 9th inning. They will send up Larry Burright, Johnny Neal, and possibly a pinch hitter for Larry Bernard. Well, fans, this is only the beginning of the Mets' second grade season, and with the crowd on in here today, it really is only the beginning. This could be the largest crowd ever. You and I, Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy, have got a date for over 130 more Mets broadcasts. So if I were you, well, I'd start stocking up right now with Rheingold Extra Dry. You know, nothing adds quite so much to your enjoyment of the game as settling back and relaxing with a tall, frosty glass of Rheingold. That's because Rheingold is beer should taste. And Dry tells you why. Yes, 2 little words, Extra Dry, tell you that Rheingold is brewed the long, slow, costly way for a flavor that's brisk and bright and clean clear through. So next chance you get, why don't you make it a point to open up or order up a bottle or glass of refreshing Rheingold Extra Dry and enjoy it along with all of the New York Mets games. Of the 9th inning, the Mets need 3 to tie, and the first batter will be Larry Burright. Larry came in the game in place of Ron Hunt, Ron being taken out for a little bit of rest. He hasn't been feeling too well. He's had a very heavy curve. Cold. So here is Burright in the first pitch. The Burright is bounced slowly down towards short, cut off by the pitcher, and the throw to first is in time. Jack Sanford working here in the 9th inning, looking for a complete game, has out number 1, and the batter now will be Charlie Neal. Charlie has singled, walked, reached into the air, and struck out. He is 1 for 3, batting at .220. The first pitch to Neal as he takes is a strike call. In the on-deck circle now, Jim Hickman, he'll bat for the pitcher, Larry Bernard. Now the pitch back by Sanford, a fastball, a swing and a miss for strike 2. Sanford back to work, and he misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Giants lead by 3 runs. They have 6 runs on 11 hits. The Mets have 3 runs and 8 hits off. Starting pitcher Jack Sanford. Now Sanford back, and he catches a strike in the outside corner for called strike 3. Sanford picking up his 9th strikeout of the game. He now has 2 outs, and the batter coming up is Jim Hickman. Batting for Larry Bernard. And the first pitch to Jim, a right-hand batter, is a fastball for strike. 2 men out. Hickman has to keep the rally alive by getting on for the Mets. They need 3 to tie. Here's the pitch. And it's outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hickman leading the club and runs batted in. He has a total of 15. He has 3 home runs. He's batting .277. The big right-hander misses again outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jack Sanford with a curveball. Here's the right-hander again. There's the ball slowly chopped down toward third. He goes foul. Second game is scheduled right after this game, and of course, it'll be a big one for the Giants and the Mets. The Giants win this one, they take over first place in the National League. And we'll have, in the second game, pitching Billy Pierce for the Giants. There's a pitch outside for ball 3, and going for the Mets. It'll be Carl Willie. 3-2 as Jack Sanford goes to work with 2 men out here in the ninth. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. A 10th strikeout by Jack Sanford ending the ball game as Jim Hetman goes down swinging in the inning for the Mets. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left in the final score of the game. The Giants 6, New York Mets 3. We'll be back with a recap of the ball game in just 60 seconds. You know, when a catcher suspects the runner will steal, well, it's the right time for him to call for a pitch out. And if you suspect that your present silver cigarette is stealing some of the pleasure you get out of smoking, well, it's the right time for you to try Viceroy. Because Viceroy tastes the way you'd like a silver cigarette to taste. Not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. What do I mean by the taste that's right? Well, if you smoke all 7 leading filter brands, you'll find some taste just like the unfiltered kind. And as you might suspect, they taste too strong. While other brands seem to be all filter, no flavor. They just plain taste too light. But Viceroy's not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the taste is right. So next time you buy cigarettes, make it Viceroy in the familiar softback or the new slide shot case. Either way, Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Well, Jack Sanford went all the way for the San Francisco Giants to pick up his 5th win of the year. He's lost only 1. Last year he won 24 and lost 7, so he's well on his way to being another 20-game winner for the Giants. The losing pitcher in the game was Galen Cisco. His record now 1-2. Galen worked the first 4 innings. He was charged with 5 runs. All the runs coming on home runs. A 3-run home run by Willie Mays and a 2-run home run by Philippe Allure. The other run in the game was scored by the Giants off of Tracy Stollard, and it was unearned as Stollard gave up the 1 run on 2 hits. He struck out 2 in his 1 inning of work. The bright spot for the Mets was Larry Bernard. Larry pitched to 14 batters, gave up only 2 hits, and he pitched fine baseball in pitching 4 fine innings. Larry has no record so far this year, but he has now gone the longest he has ever gone for the Mets, and he certainly has shown up well so far for the Mets. This is his 4th game, and in a total of 11 innings, he has given up only 8 hits, and he has allowed only 1 earned run. So Larry Bernard, the star of the game, along with Tim Harkness, who had a home run and a single, and another single, 3 hits actually in the game. The home run, his first home run of the Major League season for him as a New York Met. That's the story of the game. It's the Giants on top. They scored 6 runs and 11 hits. They made 2 errors. The Mets had 3 runs on 8 hits. They also made 2 errors in the ball game. Don't forget, the second game coming your way very shortly in about 20 minutes. Scheduled to pitch for the Mets will be Carl Willie, and going for the Giants, Billy Pierce. Right now, though, we'll return you to your respective stations.
I hope you enjoyed today's Classic Game. It's brought to you by Classic Internet Broadcast. In This Day in Baseball, This Day in Baseball has thousands of classic moments in baseball history. Pick a day, season, player, and you will see countless memories and moments. Willie Mays, Orlando Cepeda, Willie McCovey, Duke Snider, these guys have tremendous pages on This Day in Baseball with biographies, career moments. It's just an endless amount of days that they have that you could just celebrate. So you can go on to May 5th, thisdayinbaseball.com, and you can check out their pages. And thanks for joining us today. And remember, the best way to help us is to like, share, post a review. We'd love to hear from you. You can email me directly at tom@thisdayinbaseball.com, and I'd love to hear your feedback. Until next time, we'll see you at the ballpark.